Good evening, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. The Jalur Gemilang was back in the news today with another mistake involving the flag. This time the error was on a graphic prepared by the Education Ministry. The Education Ministry has apologized over a mistake involving the national flag in its SPM Analysis Report, which was released today. The report had included a graphic showing students in a classroom with a Jalur Gemilang with 2 stars instead of 1 hanging on a wall. The flag also had 8 alternating red and white stripes instead of 14. Following this, the ministry announced that it had recalled the report to make corrections. It said it cannot accept this negligence as the Jalur Gemilang is the symbol of our nation's sovereignty. The ministry added that it had taken immediate action on all those who were involved and a thorough investigation is being conducted. Previously, Sinchu Daily published an incomplete illustration of the Jalur Gemilang on its front page. The incident drew criticism from various parties, including the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar. Following the backlash, the newspaper apologized, stating that the mistake was an unintentional technical error and suspended 2 of its editors. Meanwhile, on April 19th, an event organizer apologized after a video showing an incomplete Jalur Gemilang was played at a baby expo held at the Mid-Valley Exhibition Center in Kuala Lumpur. Still on the topic, Zaid Ibrahim has questioned if Education Minister Fadhlina Sidek and officials at her ministry will face consequences, like the editors at Sinchu Daily. Former Law Minister Zaid Ibrahim has questioned if Education Minister Fadhlina Sidek will face police action. This came following a Jalur Gemilang mistake in a graphic by the Education Ministry. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, Zaid questioned whose head will roll over the incident and said that he was sure certain groups will claim that an apology isn't enough. He cited the incident involving Sinchu, which published an image of the Jalur Gemilang without the crescent moon that triggered a flurry of police reports and led to 2 senior editorial staff being detained for questioning and asked if the minister will be detained and if top ministry officials will be suspended. He added that, as the saying goes, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Zaid also made a sarcastic remark in response to the Education Ministry's directive for students to wear the Jalur Gemilang on their uniforms, claiming it would foster national pride and patriotism. He suggested that the badges should also be worn by Fadhlina and her ministry staff too. He said this might help them remember what the Jalur Gemilang actually looks like and avoid future misadventures. Earlier today, the Education Ministry apologized after its SPM Analysis Report showed the Jalur Gemilang with 2 stars instead of 1. Siti Norhaliza has clarified that she was a guest at the Health Ministry's Hari Raya event and had sung voluntarily without payment. Siti Norhaliza Tarudin has clarified that she was invited to the Health Ministry's Hari Raya event as a guest and did not charge the government for her performance. This came following reports on the event and netizens questioning the price tag that the ministry had to pay for such a star-studded open house. In a post on Instagram, Siti Norhaliza said she came to the ministry's open house as a guest and not as an artiste invited to perform. She added that she sang in appreciation of the ministry staff voluntarily and without any payment. Siti Norhaliza said she felt the explanation is important so people don't write, report and share her name and photo on news, which is not true. She stressed that she didn't want more people to continue slandering when her name is mentioned in the news based on the performance at the function. Yesterday, several netizens, including individuals believed to be healthcare workers, targeted a Facebook post by Health Minister Zulkifli Ahmad that shared photos from the open house held at the ministry in Putrajaya. Based on the photo, Siti Norhaliza joined legendary singer Jamal Abdillah to entertain the guests during the event. Many had questioned the costs spent on entertaining ministry officials while healthcare workers are struggling with the impact of budget restrictions. If you like the story we produce, consider supporting us by scanning the QR code on the screen and subscribe to Malaysia Kini. Next, Mohamad Sabu has recalled how Pope Francis stood in solidarity with Palestinians and rebuked Arab leaders who chose to remain silent. Amanah President Mohamad Sabu has extended his condolences on the passing of Pope Francis, whom he hailed as a beacon of moral courage and the conscience of the world. In a post on Facebook, he shared photographs of himself signing the condolence book at the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist in Kuala Lumpur today. Mohamad, affectionately known as Mat Sabu, said that while Pope Francis's death is a great loss, his legacy of courage, determination and humanity will continue to shine. He said Pope Francis Francis served as a torch for the struggle of all who demand justice and highlighted how he stood against the atrocities of the Zionist regime in Gaza. He contrasted this to Arab leaders who he said chose to remain silent or worse, cozy up with those oppressing the Palestinian people. He said it would be admirable if Arab world leaders could reflect on Pope Francis's courage instead of just being champions on the stage of luxury, but cowards when it comes to justice and humanity. He also lamented on the silence of some muftis and scholars, saying it was heartbreaking that as tens of thousands of Palestinians perished, these figures focused more on preserving their power and thrones than offering the moral guidance so desperately needed by the people. Mohamad added that more than just words, Pope Francis inspired the spirits of Catholic followers in Europe and across the world to rise against injustice. He said Pope Francis proved that opposing the atrocities of the Zionist regime was not merely a political or religious issue, but a humanitarian struggle that transcended borders and beliefs. A delivery rider is under investigation for hurling a religious slur. Police confirmed that an investigation paper has been opened following a report lodged by a teacher. Police are investigating a Grab delivery rider who allegedly hurled a religious slur at a customer through the application's chat feature. This was confirmed by Sobrang Prai Tengah District Police Chief Helmi Aris. He told Malaysia Kini that an investigation paper has been opened and the case is being investigated under Section 298 of the Penal Code and Section 233 of the Communication and Multimedia Act. Yesterday, it was reported that a 27-year-old teacher from Penang had lodged a report after the delivery rider sent her an insulting message. M. Amuta said that as a member of the Hindu community, she felt personally attacked and disrespected. She added that the incident reflects a broader issue of ignorance and intolerance that must be addressed. Following this, National Unity Minister Aaron Agudagan called on authorities to take action against the rider. Meanwhile, in a social media post responding to Amuta's complaint, Grab assured that the driver's account has been restricted and is under investigation. Grab said that they do not tolerate any form of abusive language or discrimination, and appropriate action will be taken. Earlier, Amuta had also claimed that when she contacted the company's customer service hotline, she was informed that the delivery rider might be a scammer as the company could not locate the individual's details within their system. M. Saravanan said the cabinet not discussing his call to ban government agencies from using the term illegal temples is not an issue. He said this is as the Prime Minister can make a decision on it without having to go through cabinet. Prime Minister Jalur Ibrahim does not require the cabinet not to issue a directive preventing government agencies and departments from using the term illegal temples. This is according to MIC Deputy President M. Saravanan. He said this in response to the matter not being discussed at the cabinet meeting yesterday. Saravanan said it is not a concern and he had already reached out to the Prime Minister personally, including by sending him a letter. He added that for him there is no need for it to be discussed at the cabinet. He said the Prime Minister can make a decision and instruct the Chief Secretary to the government to inform the relevant agencies. On Monday, Saravanan appealed for Anwar to issue the directive following a response from the Taiping Hospital management to a complaint regarding a place of worship located on its premises. Saravanan objected to the language used in the title of the management's response to the complaint. He highlighted that many of these temples have existed for decades, long before the enactment of the National Land Code in 1965. He also said that branding such places of worship as haram is insensitive and disregards their historical and cultural significance. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Chimilia. Thanks for watching.